But we as a continent have now defined ourselves.
Hello and welcome to TOS TV, your digital first Pan-African network. I am Stephanie Audia and this is TOS News Track. And these are the stories we are tracking at this time. We'll start with stories from Nigeria. Former state chairman of the defunct Congress for Progressive Change, CPC, have met in Abuja, Nigeria's capital city, and floated another political movement known as the New Nigeria Movement, NNM, ahead of the 2023 general elections. Now, the new group believes that the ruling APC has deviated from its foundational plans, hence the need for realignment to save the country ahead of the next general elections. The group has, however, elected former Kano State Chairman of the defunct CPC, Alhaji Ahmed Haruna Danzango, as its national chairman to pilot the affairs of the movement, which may soon transform into another political party. In a communique issued to newsmen and signed by Dan Zogo, the new group said it's determined to give a new direction to Nigeria. CPC was among three major political parties that merged with others to form Nigeria's ruling political party, APC, in 2013. The Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, at the inauguration of the 53rd operational vehicles purchased for the Nigerian Correctional Service on Tuesday, revealed that logistics was the major reason more than 4,000 inmates were released from prisons across Nigeria. He said those released benefited from the federal government's amnesty program launched in April 2020, adding that the exercise had gone a long way in reducing the number of inmates. Aregbesola disclosed the Nigerian Correctional Service (NCOS) had a deluge of awaiting trial persons as against convicts, confirming that about 70% of inmates were those awaiting trial. The minister said slow justice delivery was sometimes caused by a lack of vehicles to convey them to court. You are watching News Track on your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS TV. Up next, stories from across Africa and the international scene. Stay tuned. Welcome back. According to a draft briefing on the plan prepared by the African Export-Import Bank, Afrexim Bank, made available to the media, African countries will pay between $3 and $10 per vaccine dose to access 270 million COVID-19 shots secured this month by the African Union. Now, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, who serves as AU chair, said last week arrangements had been made with the bank to support member states who want access to vaccines. Countries can pay back the loans in installments over 5 to 7 years, the document showed. Although the prices are heavily discounted compared to what wealthier nations are paying, some experts worry about countries already struggling to manage the economic fallout of the pandemic, having to borrow more money to protect their people. The AU is concerned the vaccine supplies to be released through COVAX in the first half of the year may not extend beyond the needs of frontline healthcare workers. Now, COVAX is due to start rolling out vaccines to poor and middle-income countries in February, with about 600 million doses earmarked for Africa this year. Meanwhile, Morocco's prime minister has defended his government's COVID-19 vaccine policy. Speaking in parliament, Prime Minister Saadin El Outami said that despite ordering 65 million doses of vaccine from Britain's AstraZeneca plc and China's Sinopharm, Morocco had so far received no supplies. Moroccan officials had been promising to start rolling out their planned free vaccination campaign from mid-December, targeting the 25 million people aged over 18. No African country has yet been able to start a mass vaccination program. However, Morocco, like some other African states, took part in clinical trials of the Sinopharm vaccine. Morocco has recorded nearly 500,000 coronavirus infections and almost 8,000 deaths, while the International Monetary Fund has projected the economy to have contracted by 7.2% last year. Away from developments on COVID-19, human rights organizations in Kenya have asked international and regional bodies to set up a mediation team to address alleged election malpractices in neighboring Uganda. Under the banner of Africa Elections Watch, the activists said unresolved injustices during and after elections may precipitate riots and widespread human rights violations across Uganda. Their remarks come amid reports of people being arrested and detained illegally. Opposition presidential candidate Bobi Wine has been restricted at his home by soldiers since Thursday, shortly after he cast his ballot. And according to the activists, if no action is taken now, African leaders who will be seeking fresh presidential terms may be emboldened to rig elections. And President Emmanuel Macron of France has opened the door to withdrawing some troops from Africa's Sahel region, saying France could adjust its operations after successes against Islamist militants and the arrival of more European forces. France, the former colonial power, has the West's largest military presence, waging counter-insurgency operations in Mali and the wider Sahel, an arid region of West Africa just below the Sahara Desert. Last year, Paris boosted its troop numbers by 600 to 5,100 soldiers. Though Macron hailed successes against militants, the situation remains fragile. 5 French soldiers have been killed in Mali this year, and 4 UN peacekeepers were killed there last week. Diplomatic and military sources have said France is expected to announce a partial withdrawal by mid-February. Armed Forces Minister Florence Parly has said Macron and regional heads of state will discuss the situation at a summit in Chad next month. Now, on the international scene, newly elected President Joe Biden has begun to undo some of Donald Trump's key policies hours after being sworn in. In his initial act as the 46th U.S. president, he signed 15 executive orders, the first, which is to boost the federal response to the coronavirus crisis. Others reversed the Trump's administration's stance on climate change and immigration. Now, President Biden is set to work at the Oval Office, having been sworn in earlier on Wednesday at the U.S. Capitol. Democracy has prevailed, President Biden said after taking the oath of office with Chief Justice John Roberts. Delivering a message of unity, he promised to be a president for all Americans, including those who voted against him. A series of measures will be enacted to tackle the coronavirus pandemic, which has claimed more than 400,000 lives in the U.S. There will be a mandate to wear masks and practice social distancing on all federal government property. A new office will also be set up to coordinate the response to the pandemic, and the U.S. will halt the process begun by the Trump administration of withdrawing from the World Health Organization, WHO. The move to re-engage with the WHO was welcomed by UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, who said it was absolutely critical for a more coordinated global response. His spokesman, Stéphane Dujarric, said. You are watching your digital first Pan-African news network. Still ahead, business and sports. Stay tuned. Thanks for staying with us. We move to business, where Alibaba Group founder Jack Ma has made his first appearance since Chinese regulators cracked down on his business empire. Now, his absence had fueled speculation over his whereabouts amid increasing official scrutiny of his businesses when he missed the recording of Africa's Business Heroes, a television show on which he was a judge. Although Alibaba attributed his absence to a scheduling conflict, several media reports said he had not been seen since making comments that were seen as critical of China's banking system at a public event in Shanghai, October. According to local government media, the billionaire met 100 rural teachers in China via a video meeting on Wednesday. Ma addressed the teachers as part of one of his charity foundation's initiatives. Alibaba shares surged 5% on Hong Kong Stock Exchange on the news. Last month, China's central bank hauled in executives from Ant Group and ordered a major shake-up of the company's operations. Ma is a founder and key shareholder of Ant Group, which is China's biggest payments provider. Before ordering the shake-up of the company, regulators had already scoped Ant Group's listing on the Hong Kong and Shanghai exchanges. The $37 billion share market offering was expected to be the biggest of 2020. And in sports, Governor of Nigeria's South State, Bayelsa Diri, has made a 2 million naira donation to the Nigeria wrestling team, charging the wrestlers to bring Olympic glory to the country when they go to the 2020 Tokyo Games later this year. Over 50 wrestlers across the country competed at the four-day tournament in 11 Olympic weight classes in women wrestling and freestyles events. Apparently impressed with the standard of competition he witnessed on the final day of the tourney, despite their inactivity for nearly a year due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Bayelsa State Chief Executive renewed his unflinching support for the wrestling family. In his response, President of the Nigeria Wrestling Federation and Commissioner for Youth and Sports Development in Bayelsa State, Honorable Daniel Igali, thanked Governor Diri for continuously supporting wrestling and promised that the NWF will stop at nothing to ensure the athletes get adequate preparation for the Olympics and eventually bring glory to the country. And that is TOS News Track on your digital first Pan-African network. For more updates, do visit our website www.tostvnetwork.com to follow and like TOS TV Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And remember to subscribe on YouTube. TOS TV is also available on TOS TV Africa as TOS News Channel 138. To stay with us and enjoy more programs on TOS TV Network, I am Stephanie Odia. Bye for now.
But we as a continent are now defined